All right, sitting here having coffee this morning and going through my little Fleabay stuff. Very quick little video this morning. There were just a few things that caught my attention that I thought were worth mentioning, and I've kind of talked about them before, but I did notice that the pulley that I just talked about that had the center bored out and I felt was probably going to run off center, I see it sold. And apparently it sold anyway. I see the listings ended. Now, what I did want to say was I had just bought that pulley for on my shaper. I'm pretty sure that was the same pulley. And I gave $35 for it. We talked about that. And this one had been listed and continues. Let's see here. Yeah, that pulley sold. Well, it says this item is out of stock. It doesn't say it's sold. It says the listings ended. Yeah, it says sold across it. So I do not understand why someone would give $70 for a piece of crap pulley that's not going to run true. You know, if somebody actually bought that, they probably got screwed. You know, I could be wrong. You may have got something worth having, but I honestly don't think so. Now, I did see that the large safety guard that I talked about that was starting out at $49, it did sell for I think $70 here. And I think it was, you know, I think that's a fair price for that. I don't know how much utility someone's really going to get out of that. You know, as I said before, those are kind of unique, but without the rest of it, why you're kind of having to fabricate parts and make it work. So I don't know if that's that big an advantage, especially when you don't have the rest of that pulley system. So I see that hardwood lathe cabinet that was listed for $495 has been relisted again. It's been listed multiple times. It's just not worth that. They just keep throwing it out there thinking that somebody's gonna be foolish enough to give that much money for that cabinet. Yeah, it sold for $70 with 6 bids on it for that pulley belt guard. Just interesting there. Atlas milling machines. I see there's a milling machine cross feed slide now, and it's on auction. $29.99 is the starting bid and $9.20 shipping. That's the one that I said that I'd made an offer on to another individual, and he still had one out there for $69 or $79 that he's still sitting on. $29 if someone can get it for $29.99 and $9.20 shipping if they need it. I think that's a fair buy. You know, I mean, that might be, you know, another $10 or something, you know, $39 and $10 shipping. If you can get that cross slide casting for under $50 if you need it, why, I think that's a fair deal. You know, anything beyond that, why, it's too much money. So this one's got 3 Gibbs screws on it, no little lock knob, and it's missing the other 4 Gibbs screws it says on there, but I won't bother going looking at it. It's not that, it's just something point of interest there. So that's all I think that shows up under milling machines. They've got the same old crap sitting there, the milling attachments that they want. Now there's 3 items right here in a row. Now there's a few items here. One of them, you know, I reviewed the seller that I really kind of trashed on that had the 2 shaper guards for $400 a piece and a shaper vise for $520, and then the Atlas 7B shaper door for $300. Those are all still listed. Nobody's foolish enough to bite on those, but I see someone else saw that apparently on the shaper door and jumped on that bandwagon. And they have listed a Atlas 7B door S789A antique cast iron original with label tag. Awesome, it says. Awesome. Description says original with label tag. Great piece in great condition. Email questions. This is a friggin' rust bucket here. Let's bring this up here and look at it very quickly. They want to start this at $245 and $16 shipping. Is what they're trying to rip you off for on this one. And we can look at this door. This is just it's got a label on it, but that's label and the knob, and those are the only 2 things that are really any good on it. You do have a door that'll clean up, but this thing is covered in rust. This has been sitting on the floor in a damp garage for or the bottom of a lake, I'm not sure which, for the last 30 years. Label's no great shakes. It's starting to show a little bit of corrosion, and the background's all faded or starting to fade. Rivets are rusty. This is a rust bucket. You know, this is a $50 casting with the label and the knob on it. You know, beyond that, it's not worth any more than that. It's a cast iron casting. It would sandblast off, paint up, and it would be perfectly fine. But to sell it in this condition and then try and get $245 for it is ridiculous. These guys are smoking dope. Bunch of idiots. Oh, this one's cut out on the bottom too, like the last one I looked at. I had not noticed that on any other shaper doors. Every one that I can remember seeing ran full length across there. That's interesting to me. We learn something new every day. Latch is there, although it's rusted so bad it would probably work, but who knows if it's actually rusted so bad that it wouldn't even hold, you know, it'd break before you got very far. Yeah, that's a, you know, on a good day, that's $50. Okay. That was one of the things I found noteworthy. There is and I'm going in reverse here on this because it's just more convenient for me for what I wanted to look at. There is a Atlas 7 shaper tool post clapper for the 7B with the tool holder, with the external tool holder. About $249 as a buy it now and $17.50 shipping. If you needed one, but there again, there's no real reason to need one of these. If you needed one, this might not be a bad idea because it does have the tool holder, which is bringing $100. Now, are these tool holders worth $100? I don't know, but you know, that would put the rest of the tool holder. It's got the post. It's got everything. Looks to be pretty original on it, with the exception of these two screws. I notice are Allen head cap screws. Otherwise, the tool holder does not look in bad condition, or you know, the assembly doesn't look to be in bad condition. Relatively complete. Well, it is complete. You know, how much wear is there? It looks halfway decent. That doesn't mean it's going to be in a bit better condition than the one you've got. So, and this has been cleaned up. You know, parts of this would have been originally painted, so it's been stripped down at some point in its life. If you zoom in on the gib adjustments, well, you can see they're a little bit swaged over, burred up, but you know, no worse than any other ones you're going to see. You can't tell what condition the lead screw and the nut are in. Oh, there you can see a little bit of swaged over on those set screws. So not a bad looking assembly. Like I say, it's been stripped down. Who knows if it's in any better, if it's in decent condition, or just exactly what the deal is. But I did just notice it was there. Nothing else noteworthy about it. Now this one interests me. There's an Atlas 7B shaper here, pre-owned, $800. Buy it now, free local pickup. Good and bad with this machine. Now, it's got an original stand under it. So if you're actually looking for these stands, you know, they're going for $400. I won't give $400 for them, of course, because you know I'm cheap. But that's what they're actually going for. Now, let's read the description. And I do have a couple of issues. Well, let's look at the pictures first, then we'll go back and look at it. So there's not enough to tell us what we want to know here. But the things that I noticed, there's a lot of things, and this machine's obviously been repainted, and it says in the description that it's been redone. So good and bad there, but you can't really see that much from these pictures, and there's not enough information here to make an informed decision. Now, $800 I think is about right for these machines. I don't think $800 to $1,000. I don't think they're worth any more than that, no matter what the condition are. But anyway, this one looks to have the guards on it. Everything looks to be complete. Different color on the switch plate. A little bit of different coloring down in here, I think, but there again, hard to tell. The badging on the side has been painted over. Right there. Your tool post holder, your tool post holder there, or tool post, I've never seen one painted. So there's been a lot of stuff that's been painted on here that maybe shouldn't have been painted to be in original condition. It looks like there's paint all across the slider on the bottom. So there's paint where there shouldn't be, or and for your own machine, if you want to paint these up any way you want, why that's, you know, if you want to paint them pink with purple polka dots, that's up to you. But we're painted there. There's no paint inside the box here for the table. So I'm not sure this was done in the best manner that it should have been for, we'll say, a restoration. Next picture there again, we got nuts on the washer, but no coloring inside the box. The clapper box, if we're painting it, it would have been painted probably on the outer edges. Maybe not, you know, it depends. Got the other guard on it. And if you look on this picture, you can see, and I talked about it before, it looks like this will be the oil tray sticking out the back. The mounting is on the back side of this going into the boss on this smaller guard. There's no extra support out here. And I've seen a couple of them, as I said in the last video or a couple of videos ago, that there was a little bracket on the side of this that came out and was hooked into the side of the machine to give it extra stability. I've seen a couple of those here, you know, in the last little bit of time, but that was not original to my knowledge. So, yeah, nothing, you know, this would be a bare surface, bearing surface. You'd put your little bit of oil on there to let it slide across as it traversed across, but you would want that to be a nice uncoated surface there. No vice with it. Looks like it's got a Craftsman motor on it. So I wonder if this is badged Atlas or if it's badged Craftsman. You can't tell from there's no picture that shows that, you know, to tell what it is. Now all of this stuff in here looks, just the color's different on it. So, and like I said, this badge was painted over. That's not an original knob there. You know, several things don't look quite right to me, but you know, I don't know for sure until you start reading the description a little bit. So the bottom line on this, and there we've got a picture of the ratchet cover, and this is a part that always breaks up through here. They'll either crack out through here, they'll break out, they'll run to the edge of their travel, and they explode. This one's apparently, somebody's tried to repair this, and it's missing a hunk here. And that, I mean, you can tell what's going on there. There's no way to repair these. You throw this away and you replace it with a replacement if you can find it. But that's what caught my eye on this machine. If we go down and look at the description, it is, the shaper has been completely rebuilt. Most parts have been powder coated and a few are painted. Part 23D, which would be the cross slide cover, is 3D printed and does not work properly. The original part 23D is included but needs to be repaired or replaced so the machine will index properly. And then it just tells about it. I said all along, I don't like 3D printed parts. I don't think they'll hold up. I don't think they're a good option for, and I don't think they belong on an Atlas machine. And guys have wanted to argue with me, and some of them are still here to give their opinions on this channel, and some of them have been banned. But you know, somebody's spent the big bucks, whether it's been 120 or 200 bucks is what one of the outfits is wanting for a 3D printed part and everything. Somebody's spent that money on there and put a 3D printed part on there and it doesn't work. So there you go. That's pretty much a testimonial and not just me complaining about it. I would consider this to be a decent machine. I would say it's probably worth maybe 800 bucks. Although there's no accessories, there's no vise, there's nothing with it other than the machine. I do not know. I don't remember if this had a tool holder with it or not. Okay, this is somebody's homemade tool holder or something. You don't have a good picture of it to see what the tool holder is. I would say this is probably a decent machine, but it's going to be a complete rebuild. You know, this is not something I would buy with the intent that it was ready to go even once I fixed the auto feed on it. I would say this is a machine that was going to have to be completely torn down and rebuilt. So in that respect, is it worth the money that they're asking for it? So pays your money, takes your chances. 800 bucks, free local pickup. I don't know. Anyway, this is already going longer than I want. Atlas lathe stuff, don't know that I really saw anything worth looking at here. Nope, nothing I really even want to talk about. So anyway, I just found a couple of those interesting, mainly that mainly that pulley that we already reviewed, and know that it's all gonna run wonky, and then that shaper, so there again, pays your money, takes your chances. Hopefully you have a good day, and comment, suggestions, leave in the comment section for me below. If you have not hit that subscribe button and find this useful, I would appreciate it. And as always, guys, thanks for taking the time to watch.